This morning, new details now this morning on the federal investigation into LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho. His home and office were searched by FBI agents yesterday.
Welcome viewers who are watching our special feature bulletin today. On February 25th, 2026, an unprecedented and shocking event rocked the entire public education system in the United States. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, along with federal law enforcement agencies, suddenly deployed a large-scale raid operation. The target was Mr. Alberto Carvalho, who currently holds the position of superintendent of the Los Angeles Unified School District. This event attracted the intense attention of the media and public opinion nationwide. Please leave a comment sharing your perspective on this event. Please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can unpack the entire shocking truth right after this. The investigation by federal law enforcement forces did not take place in an isolated manner, but was deployed as a coordinated action campaign. The operation took place simultaneously at multiple key locations tied to the personal and professional life of Mr. Alberto Carvalho. According to sources from federal authorities, early Wednesday morning teams of special agents simultaneously closed in on the targets. These locations had been pinpointed and operationally planned in advance to ensure the element of surprise. The focus of the search on the west coast of the United States included two main locations of vital significance. The first location was the private residence of Mr. Carvalho, a home located in the San Pedro area of California. The second location, and also the place causing the most disruption, was the main working headquarters of the Los Angeles Unified School District. This place is located right in the heart of the city and is the headquarters of the second largest education system in America. The sudden appearance of federal agents at this powerful educational institution created an atmosphere of extreme tension. According to reports recorded right on that fateful Wednesday morning, all employees had to be evacuated. The personnel working at the headquarters were ordered to evacuate the building immediately. This was to make way for federal agents to conduct their search operations and lock down the scene. The images and video footage from the scene captured by the media clearly reflected the serious nature of the investigation. At the superintendent's private residence area in San Pedro, camera lenses caught many investigators constantly going in and out. They are identified as special agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation executing their duty to collect evidence. Notably, they carried many pieces of physical evidence gathered from inside the house. Among the evidence was a small suitcase, along with many cardboard boxes containing documents and unannounced items. These images show that authorities are collecting a massive amount of crucial physical evidence. These documents will certainly serve the in-depth investigation work to bring hidden corners to light. This also signals a long and arduous legal journey ahead for the district superintendent. Not just stopping at the California state limits, the federal agency's investigation network stretched all the way to the east coast of the United States. The authorities' field office in the city of Miami, Florida, confirmed another crucial development. Their forces also conducted a search of a house located in the Southwest Ranches area at the same time. This is a real estate property believed to have a direct connection to Mr. Carvalho during his time working there. Following a thorough inspection process, the scene at this residential area in Florida was cleared and released by the authorities. The fact that the investigative agency had to mobilize forces from multiple field offices in different states to participate together in a single operation carries a lot of significance. This demonstrates the complex, serious nature and vast scale of the allegations targeting this high-ranking education official. Faced with the rapid-fire information about the raid, authorities have faced immense pressure from the public. The public demands transparency of information regarding the incident that directly affects millions of students. However, according to strict federal criminal proceedings, many core details of the case are still being kept secret. This confidentiality process is necessary to avoid affecting the progress of the investigation, which is entering a decisive phase. If you find that this analysis brings deep, thought-provoking value, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we have the opportunity to discuss many other important educational topics. Mr. Sharon McEvoy, who currently serves as the official spokesperson for the United States Attorney's Office, has officially spoken out. This representative in charge of the Central District of California has confirmed the legality of the entire raid campaign. Mr. McEvoy asserted that all search warrants executed on Wednesday were carefully reviewed by the judiciary. Judges legally approved them before allowing law enforcement forces to deploy the action. Despite this, the representative steadfastly refused to provide any further specific details about the case. The nature targets or core content of the investigation remain a massive mystery to the entire media and the public. The reason given is that all these records and search warrants are currently in a sealed state in accordance with the law. This absolute secrecy aims to not affect the individuals involved in the ongoing evidence-gathering process. As for the Los Angeles Unified School District and educational system suffering the direct impact of this event, the leadership has also made a move. They quickly issued an official statement to reassure public opinion and show an attitude of cooperation with the authorities. In the press release, the district's representative stated that they had been informed about the activities of the law enforcement forces. These activities took place at the headquarters of the Los Angeles Unified School District as well as at the superintendent's private residence. The leadership affirmed that the district is fully cooperating with the investigation process of federal authorities. The district's emphasis on comprehensive cooperation is an extremely necessary move in the current sensitive context. This coordination aims to maintain stability in the teaching and management operations of the thousands of schools under its jurisdiction. All learning activities of the students need to be guaranteed not to be interrupted, even if the top leader is caught up in legal troubles. To clearly understand the shockwave that this raid brings, we need to look back at the position and power of the central figure. We need to reassess the image that Mr. Alberto Carvalho has painstakingly built throughout decades of operating in the U.S. education sector. Mr. Carvalho's career is often praised as an inspiring story of realizing the American dream for many people. The starting point of this powerful district superintendent was as a Latin American immigrant setting foot in the United States. Notably, he once started life in a new land in an undocumented status with countless difficulties and challenges. Through relentless effort and learning, he rose from the lowest positions to assert his self-worth. Over time, he became one of the educational leaders with the greatest influence across the national territory. In political and educational circles, Mr. Carvalho is known as an educator with progressive ideologies who always protects students. His most prominent political and social mark is his public and incredibly strong commitments for the community. He has always been at the forefront of protecting the safety of immigrant students seeking educational opportunities. He never hesitated to speak out against the harsh immigration policies of the government during various periods, especially his effort to protect students from potential enforcement or deportation actions from immigration management agencies. He resolutely prevented these actions from happening right within the school environment, which is supposed to be an absolutely safe place for children. This steadfast stance helped him receive widespread support from minority communities and those following liberal ideologies. His perseverance in protecting the vulnerable turned him into a political figure whose voice carries immense weight. His influence reaches far in large populous states like California and Florida. The pinnacle of Carvalho's career began to take shape and was firmly consolidated during 14 grueling years of dedication in the state of Florida. Here he had the honor of holding the position of head of the vast Miami-Dade County public schools system. This is a colossal educational empire ranked as the school district with the fourth largest scale in the entire U.S. territory. The resounding achievements and reputation he achieved over more than a decade in Miami created a perfect launch pad. It was these very legacies that helped him advance to a higher rung of power in the national educational management system. In early 2022, Alberto Carvalho was officially appointed as the superintendent of the Los Angeles education system. He had the honor of taking over the supreme leadership position at the school system with the second largest scale in the entire United States. The trust that education officials and the community reserved for him was so great that there was almost not a single doubt. Most recently, in September 2025, the Los Angeles Board of Education made an extremely important decision. They conducted an absolutely unanimous vote to continue extending his term for another long period of time. The board continued to entrust him with the massive responsibility of steering this giant educational system steadily into the future. Exactly because of that seemingly unshakable position of power, the investigative agency's sudden search of his private residence created a shock. The raid on his office raised countless questions about the hidden corners that have never been exposed to the light. Many people are beginning to shockingly realize that behind the halo of this leader, there may still be grim truths contained. Although the federal agency's search warrants are currently tightly sealed, making the process of searching for information difficult, the media is still relentlessly making efforts to analyze in order to find out the exact specific cause of the investigation targeting this powerful figure. Legal analysts and major news outlets quickly reopened Carvalho's entire past career record. The fact that authorities conducted a search of a real estate property in Miami provided an incredibly valuable clue for observers. This detail raised well-founded suspicions that the current investigation could be closely tied to his past. It recalls the unresolved scandals during his 14-year tenure of educational management in Florida. In reality, Carvalho's leadership time in Miami-Dade County was not entirely paved with roses like what the press often praised. During the period of holding the highest position here, he once had to face intense scrutiny from the inspector's agency. The cause stemmed from allegations related to a particularly serious conflict of interest issue in public financial management. Specifically, the epicenter of the heated controversy officially erupted around 2020. At that time, the local press, typically a major newspaper, stepped in to investigate and expose many startling truths. The article pointed out that Superintendent Carvalho played a key role in helping secure a massive donation. This sponsorship money, valued at up to $1.57 million, quickly became the center of attention. The core issue that made this donation shady was the origin and final destination of the cash flow. This enormous amount of money came from a private company that was in the midst of a highly sensitive commercial negotiation process with state agencies. This company was waiting to sign a lucrative service provision contract with the very school district that Mr. Carvalho was managing. Moreover, a highly unusual point was that this money was not poured directly into the state budget system as customary. It was transferred directly into the account of a nonprofit organization operating in the field of educational and community support. Notably, this nonprofit organization was directly founded and operationally directed by Mr. Carvalho himself. The situation became even worse and more out of control when the online learning program provided by the aforementioned company was put into use. This program was expected to bring a new technological solution to the district, but quickly revealed a series of weaknesses. The platform encountered severe technical issues that directly affected the learning process of tens of thousands of students. In the end, this scandalous project had to be completely canceled in a swift manner, causing a waste of resources and time. Facing the invisible yet extremely immense pressure from public opinion, the authorities were forced to take timely intervention action. The Inspector General of the school system officially stepped in, opening a comprehensive and objective investigation into this shady deal. In June 2021, the inspector's agency officially released a detailed concluding report sent to the public. This report assessed that the donation of money with the initial purpose supposed to benefit the teachers. From a legal perspective, this behavior did not violate any current written policies or regulations of state agencies. However, the report also emphasized a bitter reality that it created an extremely clear appearance of a lack of transparency. This action severely damaged trust in the eyes of the public and the regulatory agencies directly overseeing educational activities. The direct consequence of this inspector's investigation was a decision to rectify the financial activities related to his organization. The nonprofit foundation organization founded by Carvalho was urged and requested by competent authorities to refund the money. They were forced to fulfill the obligation to return the entire sensitive donation amount above to the partner company that had sponsored it. According to published reports, before the official refund request was made, a portion of this massive sum had already been dispersed. This money was distributed to working teachers in the form of gift certificates to encourage their working morale. These gift certificates had a face value of $100 each and were sent directly into the hands of those involved in teaching work. Although Mr. Carvalho skillfully avoided criminal charges or direct disciplinary decisions at that time that year, but the stain of this lack of transparency and the risk of conflict of interest has always been a dark mark that is hard to wash away. It always presents itself as a hidden corner in the resume that is otherwise considered perfect of this top education official. Can an illustrious career built from empty hands easily collapse just because of non-transparent decisions in the past? Now, when federal forces conduct searches of his private residences in both states, the public has the right to raise questions. Are federal agents putting effort into investigating an entirely new financial violation that occurred in the Los Angeles school system, or have they quietly found new evidence with enough weight to reopen the files on the dark funds of the past funds closely related to nonprofit organizations and educational contracts from his time in office over at the Miami end? Up to the present moment, the true nature of the allegations that the Justice Agency is aiming at the district superintendent remains a mystery. All core information is still lying obediently behind the strictly sealed layers of files of the federal government. However, the fact that the nation's highest criminal investigative agency mobilized a large force to conduct simultaneous searches is a signal. The move targeting the private residence and working headquarters of the head of this educational system is a historic event. This incident is not merely a personal legal crisis regarding the career path of Mr. Carvalho alone. It also carries within it a terrifying, destructive power threatening to create profound consequences for the entire Los Angeles educational system. Millions of school-age students, hundreds of thousands of parents, and dedicated teachers are having to face an enormous challenge. They are experiencing an unprecedented, severe crisis of confidence in the leadership apparatus directly managing the future of their children. While anxiously waiting for authorities to unseal the search warrants and announce the official charges, the transparent cooperation of the educational system with federal investigators is a vital element to avoid paralyzing the entire operation. The Alberto Carvalho case becomes a profound wake-up call regarding leadership ethics when the non-transparent past in Miami returns to cast a dark shadow over a once-praised career marking a dark chapter in American public education management. It reminds us that reputation is the most fragile asset. The educational environment absolutely does not tolerate ambiguity or personal profiteering, demanding tighter oversight mechanisms to restore the trust of the community of parents and students for future generations. These pressing questions demand the joint effort to resolve from all departments, mass organizations, and every member in the social community. Every individual parent, student, or manager needs to uphold the role of monitoring transparency in all school educational activities. Only absolute transparency and a high spirit of responsibility can protect the purity of the nation's education. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to update the latest developments on this case, as well as spread humane lessons to the community. Sincerely thank you to the viewers for taking the time to care and watch the bulletin, and see you again in our next programs.